You can just like play Duck Duck for a while.
Yeah.
This is a podcast.
Nothing substantial, just a bunch of bullshit.
Patrick will be saying next week, like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're almost good to go. Okay, so our live chat right there.
Is your daughter okay with it?
What the hell happened?
No big deal.
All right.
Cool.
We have us. No, come on.
Things are happening.
Right there, and then our live chat right over here. Everything's live. We're good to go.
Can you see that from here?
The live chat?
Yeah.
No, my eyes are terrible. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how big it appears. And
Yeah,
Byron-
you can.
Byron
Yeah,
will just
you
say
can see it better.
Yeah. We'll just, all right, what is this?
Go.
Yeah. Say something live chat. All right, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay, so what are we asking people to let us know if they can hear us? Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Nobody's popped in yet, but we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I could run outside real quick and just check it on my phone.
You said Kellen was.
Yeah, Kellen's going to be watching. I don't know when he'll bump in, but
Okay.
he'll be popping in at some point, and we'll figure it all out.
Cool.
But yeah, so far nobody's. We can just sort of shoot the breeze until then. But yeah,
Look at us.
I know. Check it out. I got my water.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Rick's mom.
Who do you want to say hello to, Byron?
I don't know.
Say hello to your sister.
Everyone's here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Hi, Sean.
Hello. Hi,
Hey,
Michelle.
hey, hey.
Yeah, shout out to Michelle.
Shout out to Sean.
Yeah.
I want to say hey to John tonight. Okay.
All right. So the link works because you reposted it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right.
So it's able to be reposted.
Good. Oh, I got an email from somebody in China regarding my an order I placed on eBay back in like February. It was $5 worth of thermal paste and it still hasn't shown up. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on right now.
I'm gonna check if the link works.
Okay, that's a good idea. That'd be awful if it didn't. Someone's here. One viewer.
It's not me yet.
Well, somebody. Hello, whoever's watching.
Who are you?
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Go away.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Private.
Two people. All right.
We're good. It's working.
This is a private
Excellent.
conversation.
Yeah, exactly. This is very intrusive.
You have no manners.
Yeah.
No manners.
Respect our privacy.
We're gonna be all, you had a serious conversation.
I
Yeah.
This is gonna be hard. This is
Three
gonna be hard not
viewers.
to-
3 viewers. All right. Very good.
Things are happening.
So, what we can do is we can sort of reintroduce the podcast. You guys actually asked about the meaning of the Blue Lady.
I'm the blue lady.
Little did you know, but your son is the Blue Lady.
Oh my God, I'm gonna check.
Yeah. Let me check. No, the Blue Lady. So Michelle and I have actually been involved with each other over the years. I've known her for about 25 years. We met when we were in 6th grade together. And about 8 years ago, when I had gotten through like a really big breakup, we met back up and we dated for about 3 or 4 months. And then we sort of went our separate ways. And then about 3 or 4 years ago, we got back together again, dated for a while. And one night when we were over at Walmart, she had recognized.
Okay, I'm not a video gamer at all. I'm not a gamer at all.
Yeah.
And so here I'm involved with this person that lives, eats, breathes video games. And so this 3 or 4 years ago, I was watching him and his friends play a lot of Smash Brothers. So I would sit there and watch. You had all these competitions where everybody would get together and do tournaments.
All the time. Yeah.
And their Mewtwo is a
Character, Pokemon. This
Is a
character
Pokemon?
right here.
Okay, it's a Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so I watched, and you would use, is Mewtwo a guy? Mewtwo.
Androgynous.
John
With
would
the
use
male
Mewtwo as
voice,
his character, as his like fighter or whatever. I'm doing a bad job at this because I'm not.
No, it's fine. Actually, it's from your perspective is good because
Okay.
this is where it stemmed from.
So this is what happened.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of Smash Brothers tournaments and learned a lot. And one night we went to Walmart just getting groceries or something, and at the register there were those packs of just like playing cards
Pokemon
or
cards, right.
Pokemon cards or baseball cards or whatever. There was a package of them that were Pokemon cards, and Mewtwo was on the front of it. And we had never like explicitly discussed any characters because I had zero interest and continue to have zero. I continue to have zero interest at all. But I said, "Oh, John, look, there's that blue lady that you like."
Yeah, and it was a picture of this, essentially.
Which is, to me, looks like a blue woman.
It's not explicitly female, and it's also not blue.
It's bluish and it's
I thought the blue spectrum.
and
That's
it has big bootylicious hips.
It does have big hips.
So when
Those birthing
I
hips.
yeah, so I always thought that John was using as his fighter or his character to fight just this really bootylicious lady that was blue.
The blue lady.
That's how I
Should rename
perceived.
the podcast the Blue
So we
Bootylicious
call the
Lady.
podcast the Blue Lady Podcast.
Yeah, just it was sort of like this interesting connection, like sort of like a collision of her perception and my world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's where Blue Lady came from, and because it sounded like very, very sort of inviting and
It
kind
sounds
of
nice.
yeah,
Like a meadow.
yeah, exactly. It's very tranquil.
And yeah, but really the
Not
meaning
a-
behind it is like Michelle's utter ignorance.
Yeah, from a video game
From the
that she
video.
didn't care about.
Yeah,
Yep, that's all it means.
pretty much.
Yep, so
So that's where the title came from.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have 2 viewers right now, and I'd love for some of our viewers to say hi, ask some questions, make a statement. 3 viewers, just make sure everything looks good and sounds good, just so we know everything's running well.
Yeah, John's laptop proved this isn't his.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with mine. Mine just stopped working literally out of nowhere, so that sucks. But luckily, I know some people to take it to.
So do we want to introduce ourselves, like, all of us again?
Yeah, we can do that. We can even, if
Do
we
you
want
wanna talk
to.
about where you were born and
Sharon was born
This,
at
this is my dad.
Presbyterian Hospital. Hi, I'm Byron's dad.
okay.
My name is John.
I'm John's mistress.
This is my mistress.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna message
we
Alpha
try not to
right
talk
now.
unless we're having a conversation with Byron.
Oh, my God.
Coming out.
Yep. This is Uncle Rick and Aunt Emily.
Annie M.
Annie M. Yeah, exactly. So, no, but tonight this is a very special podcast
This is a
because
follow-up.
yeah, we follow up from last week's podcast. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, I'd recommend going and checking that out. But also, this is the first time, aside from like Michelle's house or my house, where we've actually gone remotely
Mhm.
and done something not in the contained environment.
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot.
But there are various circumstances come up that disallow for it. But yeah, this evening we had the chance to do this.
Such
and
as your laptop crapping out
my laptop
out of nowhere.
stopped working. Really fortunate that your sister has a laptop.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for buying her laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tita.
Yeah.
He had one too, but it's a little netbook and he sold it. He got it as a gift and sold it.
I'm so upset with mine. I just paid that thing off too. It's really frustrating.
That's why.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
right.
Yeah, I know. Go figure.
That explains it.
Where's Kevin? He actually works at Best Buy where I bought it. He can troubleshoot this for me for free on my bed.
He should be here.
Is he supposed to be?
No. He was gonna, but then he decided to go to a concert.
So Kevin's missing this one?
I think so.
Damn it.
I'll hit him. I love Kevin, but if he needs to get punched, it's him gonna get punched.
He
You only do what's necessary.
does need to get.
He does. I love Kevin. He's a great guy.
I
love
have been
Kevin.
spending some time getting to know Kevin in the last just couple of weeks.
So you mentioned him.
Outside of this, because I didn't meet Byron until
You met my parents.
until a couple last 2 weeks ago. And I just met
last week.
Kevin. No, it was Thursday, wasn't it?
Yeah,
The
Thursday.
Thursday
last week.
prior.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the same day.
Yeah.
We've known each other for
And
years.
then it was the next day that you guys came to the movie.
We're
So.
like this,
Right.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and you guys grew up together.
Wow, we've bonded quickly. Fast
Yeah.
and furious. Fast and
Michelle helped
furious.
raise me.
Exactly, godmother. Yeah, thank you.
I love him like he's mine.
Yeah.
I'm also disappointed in him. Anyway, I forget what I was saying. Oh, but Kevin, I've been getting to know Kevin over the last probably week as well. I'm thinking here months, but it's probably been a week. And I like him.
You met him in person at the
I
movie.
met him in person.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that was great.
I've only met him a week ago.
Super cool to have you come to that, by the way. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to see you there. And it was a surprise to me because I actually wasn't expecting you to be there, but I'm glad you
Why?
were.
I remember
Because I've asked you, I've been writing your movies like 100 times and you usually don't show up.
Yeah.
like every Thursday, John's like, "You coming to the movie tomorrow?" You're like, "What time?" And then you're like, "Yes," and you don't show up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Which is fair. I don't mind. But I mean, you have stuff coming up. Your boyfriend and like things happen. You have private obligations. Totally fair.
Yeah.
But it was just nice to see you there.
You picked the right one too.
Also, you
Yeah.
did
Oh my God.
ridiculous.
I kind of loved that movie. I really did. I
That
mean,
dude's acting chops or something.
he was the best actor.
As
was so
Academy
great.
Award.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's right, exactly.
We watched at John's movie night at his store. We watched The Room, which is
Don't say anything, but just tell
I
them.
love
Tell me how wonderful it is, yeah.
which is a masterpiece,
It is
and
a movie.
it inspires a lot of really conflicting emotions.
It does.
And it's hard to know what to feel, and it's hard to know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. It incites panic.
Yeah, like you feel like you better do something, but you're frozen as you're watching it.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah,
is.
it's like one of the best movies ever.
For these youngsters.
Oh,
Yeah.
I loved it.
That was so
The
silly.
only thing I can say about it is that it is definitely a movie.
That's really the only way to describe it. That's fair.
It's
But,
a dream come true and a nightmare.
It is. Most beautiful dream, most horrible nightmare all at once.
Yeah, it is.
It's like
Left me speechless.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I apologize because like normally you come to a movie night and you're thinking, oh, we're gonna watch like a cool blockbuster, good action scenes, high quality.
Planet
everything.
of the Apes.
Sure, yeah. And then this movie you come during like the one which is like it's full of ridicule and nonsense and everybody's just laughing at the whole time. So it's not like the definitive movie experience. But it was fun to see you guys experience that because it's kind of like, what is happening? And there is no answer.
Right.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
literally no answer to that question.
Well, because the filmmakers didn't seem to know what was happening.
Yeah. Yeah, the filmmaker, the producer, the scriptwriter, the main actor, all the same guy. Yeah, literally what happens if you give somebody too much power and no
Well,
responsibility.
it's kind of like all of his
But
many,
I love you.
Yeah.
all of his many
But I love you.
have so many creative differences within one man.
He's very conflicting,
You didn't
yeah.
know what he
I'm
did.
gonna be like the mother to Byron.
Mm-hmm. You know, she's probably the best actor. She had
Yeah.
a little level of
She
consistency in terms of like. I was actually pointing that to Ariel the other night. That's the one thing she did. It made her like actually feel like a tangible character. She had a characteristic. And everybody else was just a blob of
Yeah, she was
dialogue.
really judgmental.
She also got
Judgmental mother.
she also got breast cancer and
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, allegedly. And Raina's here. Says hi, guys.
This is
No.
Yeah,
nonsense.
it is. This is
I
pretty
thought
great.
I don't know why I thought the message was gonna show up at the bottom, so I didn't know where.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there it is.
Even though I do this every
That's
week.
true. That's true. That's true. Yeah. So this
Green
is.
is really cool.
Oh yeah, they can make
Just
it.
met her.
No, not that Raina.
That's my friend. Was
Oh,
okay.
same name.
Yeah, Raina and Jonathan and her husband couldn't make it to the movie last week, so unfortunately missed out on them. They're really great people. Yeah,
They gave me
come to the
a
store for a long time.
$10 gift certificate to John's store for my birthday,
Right next to them.
and a boxing card.
I really appreciate you guys inviting us and letting us in. That was nice.
I didn't know what to expect either. I had no idea what I was.
Aaron's here.
What does he say?
Thumbs down for the room.
Oh yeah. The critics have spoken. Yep. That's a 3 thumbs down total.
That's a lot of thumbs down.
That is. What's more thumbs than a person has?
Is that Aaron Volley?
Yeah.
His last name spelled different.
That's how he normally. That's the real
Oh.
spelling. Yeah.
It's not
He forgot.
He forgot how to spell it. Yeah.
Aaron, you lied to me.
You lied.
All right. Well,
Well, cool. Now that we have some people in here, we can sort of get down to brass
we know
tacks.
people can hear us.
Yep.
So,
I think it's good.
well, okay. So all of that was just.
She's gotta bring the
Yeah.
Mexican
The
out.
preamble.
All right.
Yeah.
We have 10
You
What
gotta,
did you
blend
say?
it. You gotta bring the Mexican out. Bueno.
Oh,
Bueno,
we're gonna talk in Spanish from this point forward. The rest of the.
Yeah, I know like 10 words, and they're all bad.
And I don't know
So-
none, so.
I'll be like, no,
No,
no.
they'll
That's
laugh.
pretty good. That's
If
pretty
they'll
good.
talk to me in Spanish and they'll laugh, and I don't know what they're saying, so I'll just laugh. And I'll go to him, what did they say?
barely.
Yeah.
I know enough Spanish to tell people that I don't know how to speak Spanish.
That's, yeah, you're pretty funny to know.
Now my daughter can speak it fluently.
Okay.
Can't you?
Yes, she-
Really?
How did you
All our
How-
friends.
how- did I
bypass
miss-
that?
All our friends are
I don't
parents.
hang out with
They're
Spanish speakers, I guess.
all her friends' parents speak nothing but Spanish.
Oh, okay.
And they love her, so
She
they
gets around all
feed
the
her.
time. Fair enough.
So she
Gotcha,
picked it up.
gotcha.
Okay.
I know enough to know when people are talking shit about me.
That's fair.
I think
That's
everybody
fair.
does.
Yeah.
All right, well, so here we are. We're doing a follow-up from last week. Last week we had the opportunity to have Rick, Emily, and Byron call in and talk with us about some of your experiences throughout your life and some of the choices and transitions that you've made from, I don't even know how you put it, the dark side to the light side. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
pretty
know.
much.
Yeah. That's incredible.
But it was a really powerful. So, like John said, if you have not watched it, go back to last week's and watch it. It was
Right now, miss all of this and just go watch that one.
yeah. Just don't watch us.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is a
watch,
private.
watch this one later. Go watch. Yeah. What's up?
This is private, go away.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is just a follow up because we wanted to. I know that I had a lot more. I mean, I could just go and go and go with questions, and I mean, the depth of anybody's life experience is, kind of incalculable. So, and also we had a lot of interest. I got a lot of comments throughout the week about it, and
Yeah, one of your friends on Facebook commented on my post about it. It was really nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Remember who it was?
Let me check. Because I shared it and I tagged both of you so all your friends could see it.
Mm-hmm.
We should all just sit here and check Facebook.
Yeah.
Just read memes.
See what my friends are up to. Share pictures of Larry.
Mhm.
We could. Okay. So
That's so far.
John, what do you like? How do you want to form? Do you just want to talk question answer? Do we want to invite people to?
Well, I think if people wanted to ask questions, if people want to come in and be part of the dialogue, if people just want to observe, open forum I think is sort of like the best way to go with this. And being here face to face with you obviously is very different than hearing you guys on the phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And having met you especially, I think because last week when we were on the phone, I actually didn't talk as much as I normally do. I was listening the majority of the time.
John usually can't shut up.
And usually, yeah, I'm pretty much go. So it was interesting for me to actually sort of sit back and listen to Michelle do this because this is sort of more her forte. And, but a lot of my philosophy and a lot of my interaction with people on this level, I've learned from her. And so now being here, face to face with you guys is a very different experience and it's very cool. And it's incredible because hands down, you're one of the nicest people I've ever met, and that's awesome to see that everything that you've been through, you come out on top, and it's not. I don't find you intimidating in the least. But I think the reason is because I've had the chance even to meet you briefly, to get to know you, to get to understand you. Whereas somebody who sees you at first glance just kind of goes, "I'm not so sure." But literally, the moment you can take 5 minutes to sit here and talk to you, this dude's incredible, and that's amazing to me. Just
Give
how
him the keys to your house.
exactly, yeah. I'll write you into my will. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
It was Janice Mulligan.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right.
So, yeah, it's super neat. And I mean, there's a lot of philosophy that comes on my end when it comes to not understanding certain. It's interesting. I'm going to give you some parallels. There are certain video games that I've played that I haven't liked. There's certain books I've read that I haven't really resonated with. But the moment I sit down and I try to understand the fundamentals of why they are, how they're presented, the mechanics that make them go the way they do, it makes me like them genuinely more. And I think that's very true of people as well too, is a lot of people are rooted in sort of like taking their stance in conflict and deciding on something and making a judgment before they truly understand it. But the moment they sit down and they take the moment, even if they don't agree with it, to dissect it and say, this is what makes it tick, immediately you've sort of like let yourself in and it's let itself into you. And you have to have a respect for that. You can't not. And I try to do this with politics, of course, all over the place right now. And I'm trying to adopt a philosophy where when people have an opposing political belief, I don't want to resist them and hate them immediately. I want to say, well, what makes you think the way you do? I want to ask kindly. I want to understand. I want to strive to get the knowledge that they've got that I do not. And the moment I do, I automatically, even if I don't agree, I empathize with them on a human level more. The human condition is so vast that it makes me respect them because they're still people. I'm still just a person. And once we sort of realize that that's not a dividing factor, it's a lot easier to interact with people even if you don't believe the same thing. And so just having the chance to hang out with you and talk to you even for a little bit was just like, man, this guy's awesome. You know, like to me, everything that you said about your past, I don't see that. That's your past. That's the necessary steps you took to get where you are. And right now, here's where you are, and it's outstanding. And I love that. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I was telling Patrick, my therapist,
Yeah.
the same thing. I said, we talked, but it's like I'd known you guys forever, especially when you'd come over earlier. I was so comfortable. And normally it takes me a little while. So
Sure.
like should I say,
Yeah.
I really want to put that out there.
Yeah.
But you guys make it, I mean, the way that you guys work together.
You're like my son.
It's
Like our
it's
kid.
amazing.
It's
you know?
familiar.
And they watched the podcast and they said exactly the same thing. They said, they look young, Rick. Do you know how old they are? I said, no. I said, I'm figuring around their 30s, somewhere around there. I said, he's like, they're very intelligent, very wise, because I think this is going to be really good for all of you, I said, I agree. I said, I was higher than I ever been and I didn't do anything. I felt
He
so
woke
good.
up the
Yeah,
next
after
morning,
the
he felt like, he
podcast.
said he felt like he was on crack.
Oh, that's
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I felt
He
scared.
said he felt when he was telling you.
Crack is not whack sometimes.
That is the opposite of what you're trying to do.
But-
I had to throw it in
But
there.
he said he seems like his life when he was talking to you guys.
Mhm.
And then the next day he felt good because he wants to help someone. Realize you don't have to walk down that road.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
And
a
he did.
great feeling. I'm
And
parallel.
my therapist, well, she kind of grew up like he did.
Mhm.
And she did her things, and she's like, and like him, it's hard for him to express his feelings like towards me. And like you were saying, emotion, like my family's all huggy, lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
And when he was saying that we did a good job with the kids, but he was telling you guys, and my therapist says, you know how hard it is for him to express his feelings, so take it like he's telling you,
Sure.
he's telling them.
Sure.
You got to take it like he's telling you that. And you know what he means. I said, yeah, I know. But she goes, you're just too sappy.
Too sappy.
Because you always want to hear it.
Shut that down. Well, so that I hadn't really thought of that. Like, what made you decide to go ahead and meet with me in the first place? Because did you just throw the idea out?
Yeah, I just told him, like, I have a friend who's a therapist. She's writing a book about, the system, and I asked if he wanted to share a story with you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I told Byron, and Byron's been telling me for years, Dad, you need to write a book. You really
Just
do.
put it somewhere.
And put it somewhere. Just keep writing. And
Yeah.
writing. We'll pick it up after, whatever, know.
Sure.
And when he came and told me about you, I was like,
His response
it's
was
even
literally-
better,
His
Yeah.
response was literally,
It's
hell yes.
Meant to be,
10
yeah.
seconds
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was like,
No
oh yeah, have her come over,
Yeah.
or we'll meet or whatever. I said, yeah, set it up.
Outstanding.
That's cool. Well, I want to share with you guys some of the response that I got this last week. I shared it with a couple of my clients that are going through the federal system and that are struggling to really make the internal shift towards something different. And for them, it's really an eye-opening thing to look at someone and go, okay, it is possible. Because a lot of them actually, I don't think, believe that's true.
Mhm.
Especially because being in the system itself, and we talked about this not on the podcast last week, but we talked about a little bit during the day, some of the way it can feel oppressive.
Right.
And you were talking about a family member or a friend of yours that it just felt like brick wall. And so a lot of my clients don't really actually see that there's a way to get through that. And it's been valuable to those that I've shown it to. And I had one individual call me a couple of times this week he's in custody right now. I had a violation, and he called me a couple of times, and I talked to him about it. And I spoke with him again today, and he said to me, because I had told him a little bit about it, and he said to me, it was encouraging to hear it, but it also really pissed me off because it's something that I want for myself. And his initial emotion was uncomfortable, but but anger can be very propelling, and
Right.
for him to like, the fuck is this for a minute is it's a good thing. And so whatever emotions it sparks for you to share, it's really valuable. I shared it with some probation officers, some other therapists. And I had a lot of big response to it. And I asked Byron as well to throw the idea out there with you that maybe rather than writing a book, because of the undertaking of that we might want to maybe do some kind of documentary about
Yeah,
your
they
whole
just brought
life.
that up earlier.
Yes. Yeah, he was
you
just
talk
telling,
about
yeah.
It's easier to talk than to write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing, but also, sitting here with you and
It's easier to get out also.
well, it's easier to get out. It's so organic,
Mhm.
and it's not something that is as easy to go back and edit. And
Mhm.
there's no when we're talking in
Censor.
emotions, there's no censoring.
Yeah. It's very authentic.
What something's feeling like. And I think that actually might be powerful.
Mhm.
And also I had the opportunity presented to me this week. You had mentioned you wanted to get your story out to kids as well. I have somebody asking me about maybe having a speaker for a middle school, for some kids in a middle school, about drugs and alcohol, and it has to be, relatively PG, like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like this conversation.
not all the
Yes.
gory
You can't
details.
fucking swear.
You can't say things like crack is not always bad. You're gonna have to pick another approach. But
Change the catchphrase.
there are some things on the docket that I think it would be really wonderful to have your influence. So if that is something that you're feeling,
I'd be honored. I really would.
Fantastic.
I would be honored.
cool.
Seeing an example is such a huge difference, because all the words in the world don't mean anything until they're applied. But when you get to see somebody's life who's actually like had that change, that's living proof. Like, words are all sort of theoretical, but getting a chance to see somebody who's literally been in and out of the whole thing is mind blowing. And this is why when I get the chance to hear your story and ask you all these questions and see sort of witness how everything had sort of transpired for you. It was amazing to me, and it excites me to think that if even one person sees this and goes, "There's hope," you've done a great job.
And already many have.
Exactly. That's Emily's therapist said that right from the get-go. She was, that's always been Rick's dream. And if he gets to make that come true
Yeah.
and just help one kid,
That
one
used to be
person.
his therapist, and she helps me deal with his PTSD and anxiety. When
Mm-hmm.
he blows up,
Mm-hmm.
she helps me understand and deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just as excited as I was when she finished watching it,
Sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been great. It really has. And I thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for giving me the opportunity and taking the time to listen,
Yeah. Thank you for being willing. It's
Yeah.
outstanding.
Yeah.
This is a very big first for us on the show. We've been doing this for almost a little over a year now, and this is very different than what we've ever done. I think it's extremely important.
And it's been since we started, a year and a
It
half?
was like last April. Yeah.
A year and a couple months before that,
Mhm.
14-ish months ago. This actually was my aim, and it's something, this is something that I think about and I feel about daily. Like, for whatever reason, in my life history has a lot of drugs and alcohol and crime and stuff like that. In my family history and so on and so forth, that's a whole other thing, but it's an area of the human experience that matters to me so much. And the individuals that I work with who feel stuck, which I understand that some things going on in someone's life can look stuck, but there's also, it's a perception. Like there's a responsibility that we have to address the perceptions that we have. We can be in the same life situation and look at it two different ways and have happiness or despair in the exact same situation. And that's what I think has been, and I've heard it several times this week, really powerful about your story, because of, to lose your child the way that you did, and to lose your ability to walk and to use your own body. the way that you did. I mean,
How many
the
strokes have you had?
Since, we've had about 15.
15.
And
He
the,
still gets them here and there, but they're minor.
the thing is, when I first started having seizures, and
We
I
didn't
seen
know what
the
it was.
chief of neurology, I was falling off ladders and
Mm.
everything, but didn't know why, you know. It's
One
like,
day he fell off
the
the
heck's
ladder,
going
he's
on?
like, my fingers are broken, pull them. Like, I ain't gonna pull your fingers. He's like, pull them softly, I ain't gonna when you hear him pop.
Mm.
And he went back to the
I
window.
thought you were going to say
like nothing.
farted or something.
And then
The
he went
ultimate
back
friend.
to, went back to put in your
Pull
window.
my
that-
finger.
You know, he has a joke of doing that.
and the funny thing is when I seen the chief of neurology and they told me what was happening, she goes, you ever do any drugs or alcohol? And I said, pretty much my whole life. And she says, and now? I said, no, now I'm clean and sober. And she says, well, the funny thing is, Rick, she says, if you stay drunk every day, you'd never have another seizure. She goes, unfortunately, this is what happens
When he gets over it.
when you get sober. Sometimes it happens right away. Sometimes it takes years. But these are the things that happen.
2 years later.
And, you know, I said, if I knew half of what I know
15.
now,
It could take up to 15 years later to even, and that's his twin brother is a ex-heroin addict.
He's still doing all right, isn't he?
Yes.
But he would get clean every 2 years, it seemed like he'd relapse.
Mhm.
And we would tell him, because all his illnesses, and of course their DNA is the same and everything, get checked. He won't get checked because he's so scared of seeing what his brother went through.
he just won't do it. I tell him, brother,
And
you
he's
gotta
been
get in there.
clean, I think,
He goes, no, I'm fine, brother. You know,
He's been
I'm
clean
just
a while
watching
now.
you, and
Mhm.
I don't know how long he's been
he
in
figures he's
California.
gonna get whatever I got, and at least he's kind of learning.
Funny, he has a brother in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And he's been in there, he's 53, been in the pen almost his whole life.
Mhm.
Never worked a day in his life, lives off women. And he could,
That's what we're for.
and he,
He thinks
when
so.
he was sick, it's weird, cause like none of his family would call him, but he would find a way in the prison to call him. And Rick could, even to this day, he could call him like, say an hour from now, he'd be like, what do you want? I know nothing. What do you want? "Oh, I just took some whatever. I took this. He can tell just by the way.
His voice, I can hear it. I said, brother, don't lie to me. I know, I know.
Yeah.
I've been down that road, so it's like, no, I'm not doing nothing, bro. Come on, you're trying to BS me, you know.
Mhm.
So it's come in handy, and I've always told the kids the same thing. Don't ever think you're gonna walk through the door
Mhm.
high or drunk or
Mhm.
been drinking or been around people that been smoking or whatever, and I'm not gonna know. I said, you're not gonna
I
pull
remember
it.
Yeah,
one holiday,
Not when it comes to that.
they were with some friends.
Yeah, I've never smoked.
They never smoked, but they were with friends that smoked.
Mhm.
And they walked, him and his best friend Avery
He was living
with us. And they came home from trick or treating. They hauled ass to the bedroom.
'Cause we were surrounded by it all night.
And Rick says, "Come here, you guys smoking?" Nope, I could smell it on you just by walking past them.
Mhm.
Oh
We
Lord!
might have had a contact. I don't know.
Yeah, they did.
So you have that radar.
Um,
What am I on right now?
Well, Lucy.
Adderall.
John has never had a drink of alcohol, a drop of
That's
alcohol
crazy.
in his entire.
That's
Like-
impressive.
Yep.
that is very impressive.
Completely straight.
I was gonna be like that, and then I wasn't.
Yeah, you know.
Not
Really?
alcoholic, so.
Exactly.
So I mean, you've never ever had even a drop of alcohol. Like, what's your view from the outside?
Well, it's interesting. I don't condemn it. I think the biggest issue that I ever have with the entire thing is when it's used irresponsibly.
Sure.
A lot of it came down from a point in my life. This is actually from the car wreck when I was in ninth grade. We were in a really, really bad car accident on Valentine's Day in 1997.
You and your mom.
Me and my mom and the girl I was dating at the time. And it was, yeah, it was weird. And at the time, I remember we were driving up to Salem. We were in a huge Ford Explorer, and it was just nighttime. The music was on, and then we got T-boned. And all I remember is the car spinning, and then us stopping on an embankment, and how eerily silent it was outside.
Yeah.
And the way the whole situation played out was like a dream. It was very, very surreal. But I remember the scariest thing about all of it was the lack of control that I had during everything going on. And so the reason I actually never ended up partaking in anything was because I never wanted to be put in a situation where I didn't have as much control of my environment as possible. So even if there's things I couldn't control, I could still control what I needed to do, especially for the sake of myself or others. And it was sort of from that point on, I just pledged to make sure that I would sort of be, around. And I don't condemn, like these kinds of things. It's really the irresponsible use or where it can harm, oneself and others especially is that I did. But I also understand that, people do things and they try things and they're put in situations where things happen, part of your environment, like your peer pressure and, just there's so many circumstances. And so I don't want to condemn anybody for just what they do for themselves to grow and how they utilize these things as lessons or stepping stones to get to where they need to be. But the main thing was basically I wanted to make sure that I was always as cognizant as possible in any situation. Because it was just so scary, especially in that moment, not being able to do anything.
My buddy Matt says, "Dang it, I'm having a sniffer of brandy right now."
Yes.
The hell, Matt?
Yeah.
Are you wearing a robe?
Where's the cigar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
That Matt.
No, that's a different Matt.
Hmm.
I know like 5 Matts. It's a common name.
Yeah, I know a lot of Matts.
There's only one on Earth.
One Matt.
Yeah.
The rest are like sort of
This
sub Matts.
This is Matt. Everyone
That's the
else-
Matt.
The
The
one.
Matt.
Oh, cool.
The Matt.
I've been looking forward to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of an epic moment.
Yeah. All the other imposter Matts. Yeah. This is the real deal.
Well, one of the questions that I wanted to ask you that came up for me later that I was thinking about was, and this might seem kind of out of line of what we were talking about, but I actually want to know why you picked Emily. You said you got out of prison, you wanted to make changes, you got married, right?
Proto Matt.
I was in Tucson, Arizona.
That could be a very mean question.
I was
No, it's not.
I know
I
it's
was,
not, but like if it was asking the wrong
on my way to
situation.
Chicago, and my twin lived here, and I had met her.
But he
And we
thought I was
hung out.
16. He
We
thought I was 16.
At first, I didn't talk to her nothing. I kept telling my brother, "Who's this little girl following us around? Get her the hell away from us!" And she told me, or he told me,
I was gonna be
they're
21.
going to be 21 coming up, And then I said, "Oh, okay, so we can talk then."
And then he goes, "I got all this money, anything you want, you can have." I'm like, "Yeah,
Oh,
okay."
hey.
What is now you
Big
want to talk
spender.
to me?
JTF. You can have whatever.
And we hung out that whole night, and it was nice talking with her and getting to know her. And she actually gave me a chance, didn't, shoot me down like this guy's, he's a thug. Or
Yeah.
So I went to Chicago, and believe it or not, her scent stayed with me for days. Her scent just stayed with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't quit thinking about it.
Mhm.
I'm honest, I couldn't quit thinking about it. And I would tell her, I can still smell this thing,
Mhm.
And it just blew my mind. And I guess I kind of knew right then, this is it. This is the one I'm going to be with.
Huh?
I'm going to stay with. And here we are, 21 years later.
Amazing.
That was pretty, amazing, because it blew my mind.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm blessed to have both my birth parents still together
Yeah.
and still around.
Absolutely.
Because he moved down 3 months later from Chicago, and he says, "Don't ask me to marry you. Don't ask me to have kids." I said, "Okay." 3 months later, "Will you marry me?" And one day he woke up to go to work. He says, "You're pregnant." I said, "I'm not pregnant." She said, yeah, you are, the baby's kicking me. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I went to the doctor, sure enough, I was pregnant.
Oh, there you
But he had the
go.
morning sickness, everything.
I had the munchies. I had all kinds of crazy
Yeah.
stuff. I did. That
You're a
was,
total empath.
It's weird that he is.
This man knows pregnancy.
all but the birth.
Well, the reason I asked that about why Emily is because I watch a lot of people make their decisions about their partners or about their friends or about whoever they associate with sort of flippantly, like without really considering what does this person bring to my life, what do they bring to the table, and considering who I am and where I'm trying to go from here, how can they help me further that or possibly derail that? And that's why I asked that because you know, the changes that you chose to make, you would have been harder to make with somebody less supportive of that.
Definitely.
I mean, we've all been involved with lots of women. If you've been involved. I'm just kidding. But if you've been involved with women before, Emily, that were not beautiful influences. They
Right.
had different effects on thinking processes or whatever, but something significant about her.
And I think I guess like the purity, the naiveness of her,
She
like,
wasn't from around the block.
yeah,
Okay.
you know, and it was new for me just as well as it was for her
Sure.
to put up with somebody like me, you know, and for example, I took her to Disneyland for the first time and she had never been, but I had been all the time. My sister had a girlfriend that worked there, so we used to go almost daily,
Mhm.
you know, at least for a couple hours to pick her up.
To
and stuff,
Disneyland for a couple hours.
Wow.
you know, and I took her, but seeing it through her eyes for the first time,
Mm.
that was
That's
amazing
special.
again.
Sure.
Yes.
I was pregnant with
So
him.
yeah, she was
And then
6
we
months.
went,
6 months.
and you told
Yeah,
me
but
the
I
Matterhorn
was a
Space Mountain. I was terrified. You
Yeah.
lied to me.
But I'm a big Mickey Mouse fan.
Hmm.
So I couldn't get on the ride because I was pregnant. So we went to the Toontown, Mickey's house. I seen Mickey Mouse, and he was pushing me.
She was starstruck. She literally stopped,
So cute.
And I
She
knew it
was-
was him.
speechless. She wouldn't move, and I'm like, come on, you know.
The Mickey Mouse,
Go get
yeah.
a picture.
We
Go
need
get a
him.
picture. And as soon as she did, and she just looking at him, like, you know, it's God Almighty standing there in front of her, you know. And right after that, she says, I'm ready to go home, babe. And I'm like, I drove all night, got 2 hours of sleep. We're at Disneyland. We're not leaving until this place closes.
That's right.
You know what it ruined that?
Captain EO.
Oh.
I'm a big Michael Jackson. He is the love of my life.
Mm-hmm.
He is, oh my God, from Jackson 5 to the day he died.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to see Captain EO, and that's the last showing they
That was
had.
the last show.
Oh, you were the last one.
Yeah.
You were probably there with my buddy Pat. My buddy Pat was there for the last show as well too.
Yeah.
That's incredible. What an amazing experience Captain EO was.
But I
That was.
had, when he died, I started getting all these posters. And we lived in a trailer, and I had them down the hallway.
Mhm.
We had this glass window, and every time you opened it, there's
Glass
this
window
one
on
that
the
would, it's like his eyes would move, and they would say, Mom, can you please take that
Yeah,
one
if you would
down?
open the door all the way, it looked like he was looking into the window.
I'm creepy.
And then he'd be like, Mom, can you take that child molester down? I'd get mad. He'd get, okay.
You know what would have ruined your Disneyland trip?
What?
John's Mini. If she
Oh.
was there.
Oh no, that makes it better.
Now I'm into Magic Mike, so.
Nice.
What was it, Channing Tatum?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
it's a good looking fellow. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's movie night next
That's
time.
right, exactly. Yeah, we decided the store.
For me and Emily, we want to watch. We want to watch.
But I
Channing.
say our marriage is like the Notebook. That's how we're gonna go.
All the way to the end. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So what did you see in Rick? I mean, like what was it about him that made you so?
Must have been nothing good at the time.
You know, it's weird.
I was drunk.
It was,
What'd you say?
I was drunk.
it was
I
weird
drank all the
because,
time.
like,
Sure.
my type of guy back then were preppy, clean cut, jockey looking guys.
Mhm.
Like your brother?
Yeah, kind of like my brother. Well, not that don't look like.
Oh, right, yeah.
But like preppy looking, just real clean cut.
Mhm.
And I knew when I met his twin, we were friends like 2 years before I even met him. And he's like, well, I got a twin brother. I'm like, okay, no big deal. Everybody has twins. Because
Everybody
my
has-
name is Richard Rick. His is Rick Rick. I said, you're full of shit now.
It's a fact.
So one day, I didn't know he was down here, and his brother got into a motorcycle wreck.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in a cast. So I'm sitting there talking to his brother and his wife, and he was going to the bathroom. I said, well, where's Richard going in? It was him. And I'm like, they walk, talk, everything.
Their voices are only slightly different.
And it was just something about him that was different from what I'm used to.
Mhm.
I'm like,
It just made sense, huh?
yeah,
Just looked at him
it
and
just like, it just clicked.
Yeah.
Like,
When it's right, it's right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's just like we knew it. And I
my
think
dad told me.
the best thing was we talked for months,
Mm.
you know, every day. So we were getting to know each other like that. No sex, no nothing to
Mhm.
complicate things.
That's a
And
great way to do it.
so it was like we were becoming friends first.
Sure.
And I think that was the biggest clincher.
It takes a lot of discipline when you're into somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely.
it does. It really
It
does.
does, yeah. That's not easy.
Especially the kind of person you were.
Yeah, still am.
If you didn't go to Chicago, would I be born?
No.
You just left after one time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the kind of person I was back then.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta go.
Now you really made me feel bad. What the hell?
No, he stayed with you. I'm alive.
Well, there's something about the naive quality that you felt like Emily had that changed that.
It was, I guess, like starting to learn things from a completely different perspective.
Mm.
One that I wanted to know.
Mhm.
You know, I was always told things, you know, like we were talking last podcast, you know, I'd be dead by 16, by 18, by 21.
Mhm.
You're no good, you know, and all this other crap, you know. And even the people that tried to help me at the time and wanted to help me out of my situation, I didn't want nothing to do with that, you know. This is all I know, so it doesn't matter what you try to do or how you try to help me, I'm not going to take it. But with her, like we had talked about during the day that day, I didn't know what love was. Her and her mom and her dad showed me something completely different. I didn't never had. So I was always looking at her and waiting for that other shoe to drop. Like,
Sure.
what do you really want? You know, where's this really going?
Yeah.
And I always waited for that, you know, big something, you know, but
Yeah.
and it never came. It was just simple, unconditional love.
That's amazing.
It's something I didn't understand at the time, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just, and it's kept going. It's kept going. We've been to hell and back and then some. We really have.
How do you think it would have been different without her?
I would definitely more than likely either still be drugging and drinking, or I'd be dead, or doing life. And I say that all the time, you know, I really would. I really would. I know where I was headed. And Chicago was even worse, you know. I got robbed. The very first day I got off the airplane, I walked right into a robbery, you know, and it's like, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even see it coming, you know. And the guy's like, had $100 and he grabbed it. Thank God he didn't grab my wallet or nothing. I went in there to buy alcohol for the ride. And I walked right into a damn robbery. I'm like, oh, welcome to Chicago. So I know that, and like I said, I'd be dead or still on drugs and alcohol or in prison.
Here you are.
Here I am.
Fantastic.
Thanks to these guys.
Wonderful family. Great sense of humor. Yeah, that's important. So that could also very easily go both ways. You could be, you know, like have made it out and still sort of like be like sort of jaded and upset and very, you know, hardened. But I mean, talking with you guys, I mean, you've got a really great personality and outlook on everything. And I think for me, that's a really huge characteristic. you know, as being able to look at everything and just sort of be like, I remember that, you know, sort of ingest. Because I use humor as a huge outlet, you know, for me, you know, part of our podcast, as serious as we get, we also interject humor very actively. Michelle and I have always had that sort of with each other. And it's really good to see you always sort of just in high spirits when we're chatting. It's only been a couple times, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something that I actually just recently learned over the last couple of years, because I was exactly that.
okay.
I was pissed off, you know, and I have
Yeah.
been for years.
Mhm.
It's just, you know, I think back and I'm like, these, you know, idiots did this, and
Yeah,
they did that to me, and
yeah.
I finally learned to take responsibility for my own actions.
That's
and That
huge.
was hard.
And that's
You know,
huge.
that was
A lot of people
really
don't
hard.
want to do that.
No,
It's easy to pass the buck.
Yeah, that's the first thing you want to do.
Right.
Well, I did it, yeah, but because there's always that but.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I had to learn to quit doing.
Right.
It
What a
wasn't their
difference that
fault.
makes.
It, you know,
Yeah.
you did it.
There you go.
You did it.
Or you chose to be in the company of people who do that. You know,
Right.
like you can always sort of find a way to see why you're responsible for where you are. Yeah. Yeah. Great.
I never thought of that humor being reliant upon being able to take responsibility for your own perception.
Yeah.
I never thought of it like
You know,
Well, if you can joke
emotional.
about what you've done, then you truly accepted it. I
Take
think.
your own actions and
I agree with that.
yeah.
I
I'm
agree with
too
that.
much of a crybaby. I do. I cry all the time. Why are you mad? Or why are you crying?
Let's watch the last 20 minutes of 8 seconds.
Shut up. They do that crap to me all the time.
That's an old
Good.
movie, the one where the
With-
bull riding.
Oh, Luke Perry.
Luke
Okay,
Perry.
let me. I love 90210. Okay.
Oh yeah, there you go.
90210 was my. When I got pregnant with him,
Dylan McKay.
and we found out he's a boy, I said, "We're naming him Dylan McKay." or Brandon Wall." And he goes, "I ain't getting no white boy name."
When I got a white boy name, anyways.
But you're named after Lake McKay. That's why we were only named Byron Scott.
What were you gonna
We
name?
didn't even have a name for him when I went into Lake.
Yeah,
You're gonna name me Emmerich, which sounds cool, but it's just their names put together.
But his son, the one that was killed, didn't want it because he was the only Rick for his dad. So we're like, okay, you come up for a name. So when I had him, we didn't have a name for him. They're like, what's his name? I said, oh, no, ask his dad. They were coming up with names.
Yeah,
while I
we're
was having
naming him
him.
up as he's standing there. Byron came up and was like,
What do you think about
That's
that?
a
I
good
don't know.
name,
I'm
Byron.
just
Cool
get this
name.
kid
and then I
out.
thought, okay, Byron Scott. And everybody's looking at him like, Byron Scott, you're from the Lakers. You know?
Hey.
You just
I'm a
cited
Lakers
it like
fan.
on a
Yeah.
thing like that.
We really did. And it was, you know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Makes
And
for a
with
good
my
story.
daughter's name, her name's Angelita. And my stepdad named her. But I had to practice saying her name for a month before I gave her that name. But I was in labor with her for a month. And when I went into labor with her, they've never asked me if I had a living will. I'm like, why are you asking me this? Well, they took him out and they told him it's either one of us wasn't going to make it because I was in dead man bed rest. And I'm like, huh? And he never told me till the end. And when I had her, she stopped breathing on her. And she was sick for the first month of her life. We couldn't have no one around her.
Yeah, them guys, they freaked me out that day. I never had to make a decision like that, you know. I mean,
I can't even imagine.
for somebody that I love,
Yeah.
it's like, dude, who do you want? If it comes down to it, who do you want us to save?
Yeah.
The baby or your wife? I'm like, my wife.
Yeah.
You know, I can have another baby,
Yeah.
you know, God willing, whatever it is, but save my wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got my son, you know. And they're like, okay, that's all we need to know. And I was like, what the hell's going on?
What a
Where's it
question.
coming from?
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't even imagine.
I was freaking out and trying to be happy at the same time, but yeah, that was crazy. That was a roller coaster. Jeez.
And they both made it.
I'm glad everything worked out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, and she has a laptop.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure, exactly. Yeah, if it weren't
She
for
saved
her,
the day.
yeah, this
Saved the
evening would
day.
go a lot differently. Yeah.
She's alive and she's a hero. Tito, you're a hero.
Wow. Well, I like marriage stories, but I especially like yours.
Yeah. Yeah. I also.
I do. Yeah, I really do.
And my stepdad even asked him, what is your intentions with my daughter? That's why either I could come to the front door or she's gonna come out the back window.
Either way, we're gonna be together, just
That's
how
what
you
he
want
said.
it done,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
And that's why they're so close.
Okay.
Because he's up front with her. Either
right.
I'm gonna come to that door or she's gonna come out
I
that.
can knock on the door, she can climb out the window.
There you go.
It all depends on you.
It's a great response.
That's really good.
I mean, it's just a fact.
Yeah.
If someone told you that, you'd knock them out on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, if somebody came.
But that's you being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be like, come here, let's
Yeah,
go down the street for a minute. Let's walk and talk.
Oh, boy.
That's cool. What are people saying? I can't see any of that.
They're observing the Matt thing from earlier still. He has the last comment.
The one true Matt.
Oh,
The OG Matt.
There's
Yeah.
a chat for a reason, say stuff.
Yeah, if you guys want to chat or ask questions or contribute or anything, by all means. By all
yeah,
means.
it's not just for me to write my Disney movie. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, that
You're writing a
is,
screenplay?
yeah,
Mhm.
apparently, yeah. Mickey and Minnie falling in love.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
so
John doing the voice?
John,
Yes, I'm done being
take care of,
Oh,
his
yeah.
son. See if you can tell which one's your dad.
I can.
Oh, I can.
Some old pictures.
Is that his older sister's?
Don't put me on the spot.
10 seconds, go.
All right. I don't know. I'm saying right.
The right.
Left.
What?
Let me show them.
That's the trick. Yeah, this is.
My dad and his twin. That's what they look like. They
Oh.
look like each other.
It's as twinny as it gets. Incredible. Wow.
Twinny.
Twinny. Yeah.
Well, I have a brother-in-law, he used to call us the Twinkies, because it comes two in the pack.
Yeah.
Exactly the same way. Yeah, Joe. I used to hate that. Hey, Twinkie.
Yeah.
No, nobody told me that.
Richard and Richard Rick.
Yes.
And his son, my nephew is Richard,
Your
Rick.
nephew.
my nephew. I said, my
He's not.
dear Richard's son is my nephew.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Rick. No, his
Your
twin,
nephew.
This is so
Oldest son
confusing. Yeah.
Richard Rick Ibarra Jr., and his son that was killed is Rick Richard the second.
Richard. Rick. That's interesting.
They named their first sons the same way.
Sure.
You could call each other Dick, Rick, and Rick Dick.
I was wondering about that.
Do you?
Yeah.
You should start.
Nope.
You should call him.
Yeah.
Hey, Dick, Rick.
As long as it's close friends and family.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
They can get away
Depends on
with
the
it.
proximity. Yeah. Yeah.
Call him that when we see him. What's up, Dick, Rick?
Dick Rick.
Yo, Dick.
Yeah, Richard, he'll crack up. He'll start talking shit back.
Byron, tell us about the neighbors.
Oh, so earlier today, I was sitting outside with my dad on the patio. This lady came walking her dogs, and she came right up to like the edge of our lot, crossed the street, and kept going. And one of her dogs was off the leash and just stayed there. She was like, "Come on, come on."
Yeah, and for anybody who didn't hear last week when we were discussing this, Rick is apparently an intimidating man, one of the nicest guys I've ever met. But you said right after like you would shave your head, especially.
Yes.
People's perception went from like, oh, guy working on his house to like, stay away from that place, and literally would cross the road right out here just to not pass in front of this house. And so,
Like we're gonna mug them in front of our own property.
Right, yeah.
It's a very dumb thing to
yeah, it
do.
would be a very bad thing.
There's no
Yeah.
alibi.
Yeah.
No
I was at
alibi.
home. We know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just at my house.
Right.
Yeah.
When we were painting and they were complimenting us and all standing on the porch and in the driveway and everything. And like John said, as soon as I shaved my head, now they avoid the house. They cross the street. It's
So
crazy.
interesting. And you think, maybe even like, putting on like a different shirt or a wig could make that kind of difference to somebody. They might walk by and go, oh, there he is, upstanding citizen. But
Yes.
instead they see him and they go, this guy's going to shank me.
Yeah.
Like,
He's gonna mug me, steal my dog,
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Maybe he needs my cell phone.
Right.
Like, come on, people.
Yeah.
Steal
that's-
my dog.
Yeah, that's
I
fine
can only
now.
imagine what they're thinking, you know? I try to
That's my
picture
dog.
it. It's like, man.
What kind of crimes are you gonna commit on your own property?
Yeah, they-
That's a bad place to do that.
Yeah.
Try to mix
Outside
your
in public
family.
during
We got
daylight.
Mexican,
Yeah.
half-breeds.
Wow.
My kids are
Wow.
half-breeds, white girl and a black dog.
Dang, the whole package.
All you're
We
missing,
got it.
Everybody's here.
all you're missing is
Asian.
an Asian. And,
That's true. Yeah, you should hire an Asian guy to hang out here
Huh.
Can you bring your dad?
with like his ricer or whatever, like sitting right out in front, like just revving his engine all day. Yeah,
Bring your dad.
yeah. Bring my dad. He can just patrol the yard.
Your dad, I would have a blast over here.
Oh, he would. Yeah, he'd have a great time.
That'd be great.
Oh.
Well, I didn't have any specific. I just wanted to hang out.
Yeah, just hang out and talk and just yeah.
I want to know about Wednesday.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Is
last.
something you're not telling me?
So another podcast.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. You trollop. Okay. Last Wednesday. Well, this Wednesday.
This yesterday.
Holy crap. Okay.
Do you
Days.
remember what it is? Because you were there last week when I mentioned it on the podcast.
Do I remember May 31st? Yesterday?
Do you
She
remember
brought
what
it
I
up before we
Do
started.
you remember what I said we were
Yeah,
gonna? I was gonna be doing on Wednesday.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. Sorry.
Last week during the podcast, I shared that yesterday I was set to be sitting on a panel with United States Probation. Do you remember that?
I do. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I sat
That's
on 2 different panels yesterday with the probation officers, United States probation officers, and they were looking for they were looking to ask questions of mental health professionals just regarding it wasn't exactly what I expected. They were asking, okay, how can we better help people get through the federal justice system? It was really an interesting, it went well, but it was a really interesting day for me because I still felt a really heavy, no, they're criminals. I still felt that really heavy. And the whole point of the panel, meeting with, officers and those folks, the whole point of the panel was to kind of move forward from that, to really, humanize humans, which you shouldn't have to humanize humans, but to
Yeah.
really do that in a better way. That's how I understood it, and it still felt really rigid. It felt really rigid, and so not discouraging or anything like that, but it was just an interesting thing for me to note, because it's precisely what this is all about. It's precisely what the book that I'm working on is all about. My whole work is all about is how marginalized people that are in the prison system or in the criminal justice system are, and misperceived and ranked like as a hierarchy, as if you've never offended the law, then you get to be on this level, and if you have, then you're on this level. And that was still a really strong, it was almost like I felt like a lot of them were still just like this.
Mhm.
It's weird because like criminals are some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Whereas, you've got these like better off people who've never been around that type of situation their whole life, and those are the assholes. Or like
I've experienced that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's sort of like the pious kind of nature of, well, you're doing bad. I sin better than you do. I sin lesser than you do. Therefore, I'm condemning you already. Very interesting sort of perception.
Yeah, I have Donald Trump running through my head. But
Yeah.
what are you gonna say?
I lost my train of thought.
I had an uncle.
You're a better conductor, Dad.
He's been in and out. He's dead now. He was in and out of prison since he was 16.
Mhm.
He would get out, commit a crime just to go back in because he didn't have to pay for it. He had running water. He had a bed. How do you say it?
3 squares.
In a cot.
Yeah.
3 hots
3
in a
hots
cot.
in a cot.
So that's what he was used to. And once he got sick, they transferred him to Las Lunas and Summers House, but they never take him to the hospital. Well, he died of abscess. So now my mom and my aunt are suing the city or whoever because they would never take him in to get checked by a doctor. And he died.
That's a sad story because that man could draw. He was a
He was
fantastic
talented.
artist.
Now he'd seen that when he
I have
first
a-
got out. I mean, he had tattoos. He has. I'm named after my grandma Emily, so he had Emily. And he tells his girlfriend, "That's my name." I'm like, "Why would you have my name on you? Talk to your mom." And then when they met, because he knew I was married and all that, what he thinks he was from the gang, but he really wasn't. He just hung out with the dopers. Yeah, it was awkward watching them two because he wouldn't speak to him. He wouldn't speak to him until, okay, this is weird.
I just kind of stay distant, you know.
He didn't know
Something
how
I
to
didn't-
react towards him.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I get, I'll go by people's houses and there'll be some knuckleheads there, and that's something that I haven't figured out how to change. But they'll look at me and they'll say like, "Hey, gee, maybe we can hang out sometime." And it's like, no, it's not gonna happen, bro, because you're looking up to me for all the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons. I can see that already. And it's just such an awkward feeling because I want to get him right then and there, shake him, tell him, "Look, bro, if you really want to hang out, then, we can talk." But the way that you're saying it now, calling me G, first of all, I'm not Billy Badass no more. Like I tell everybody, I'm retired. I'm retired.
We're done with that.
I'm done, and that's that. And I haven't figured out how to change that.
Well, when people meet you that want to, go that perception, I imagine they give you like a deer in headlights when you're like, no, that they don't compute. What do you mean? What do you mean no? What do you mean that's not you?
Yeah,
Like what do you mean change? What is that?
exactly.
Yeah.
And like he's saying about me being naive, we lived in Tier C house doing home health care. And this girl is from Victorville. She was supposedly in the gang. And she knew where he was from, so she wanted to fight me and all that. And she's like, "I know your husband's a veterano." I didn't know what that was. I didn't even know what an OG was. I come home and
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I was pissed. And I told him, "This bitch over here is calling you a veterano. I don't know what the hell she's calling you, but I know she's calling you a bad name." And he's laughing at me, but she's calling me an original gangster. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
Oh.
I felt so stupid. And I was so mad. She called him that.
She thought she was calling me some bad names.
Yeah.
She didn't know Spanish.
It's
And then
respectful.
she came home. She was pissed. I'm like, "What happened?" She tells me, and I started cracking up. That's how I basically not saying nothing bad. Just the way they see me, they know. I said they don't know nothing about me, but that's what they think right away. He's in the life still. And it is what it is. They don't have no clue.
Yeah, I think that really speaks to like I was saying earlier, that hard to believe that it could actually change. Hard to believe it can actually be different. And a lot of the people that I work with don't see that. They can't envision that. So to meet somebody who for all intents and purposes should be, like, let's hang out, OG, like, to feel like that person's not so much there the same way anymore. How confusing that is for somebody. It's powerful. Do you know what I'm saying about this? It's such a powerful.
I think a lot of people don't want to see other people change. They almost feel more comfortable thinking that people are convicted to like one train of thought. If somebody has said something, then they want to commit that person to that persona permanently.
Case in point, the federal system.
Yeah,
Case in point, the probation
yeah.
officers. Case in point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't make money off the prisoners if they're rehabilitated.
That's
Right,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a lucrative, huge industry.
Mhm.
You were talking about last week a friend of yours or a family member that was going through the probationary system that was having, what was it? But
Oh, Jesse. He's they're not really family, but I call them my cousins.
okay.
And yeah, he did some time and he got out and they kept raiding him. And
Oh, that's what it was.
he had got busted for drugs, for trafficking, and the PO just kept screwing with him, kicking down the door and kicking down the door.
And finding nothing.
He finding nothing. He wasn't getting high. He didn't have no dope, no nothing. And he got tired of it. And he went back to his parole officer and told him, if I, get locked up, how much time they got left on paper? And he says, you're going to have to do another 15 years, It's like, all right, screw it. Lock me up. I'd rather do it inside than have to put up with this, messing with my family, never stopping his kids and, hassling his wife and hassling his mother-in-law, the whole family gets it. The whole family gets it. So he got tired of it. And
He lost his wife.
I mean, she told him, you go back, we're getting
done.
divorced. We're done. It's over.
And that's like
I
him.
waited, and
Like
she
with our
was
kids.
tired of it.
His kids, when he was in the pen, ran the neighborhood. They sold the dope.
Mhm.
They were youngsters. I'd say 12.
Mhm.
And their mom was straight as an arrow. Didn't put up with nothing. And look at the difference. Our kids don't do that,
Mhm.
but her kids did.
My dad offered, it's weird because, I know, their mom wouldn't allow anything like that around her house. But my dad has offered, if you ever want to try weed, I know how to get something safe.
You do it here, you do it with me.
Mm-hmm.
Sort
of a supervised
yeah.
environment.
I don't want you getting any bad shit.
Sure.
And like I said, I said that last time. I
Mhm.
always said,
Mhm.
it'll never happen to me.
Yeah.
I know how to do this. It's a piece of cake.
Yeah.
I've been doing it forever.
Mhm.
It does happen. It
Yeah.
happened to me,
Mhm.
And I tell these guys the same thing. You want to drink?
Mhm.
You drink here with me.
Mhm.
You're going to start drinking. I'll show you how to, so you can drink and still stay in control.
Yeah, that's a
You know,
very responsible approach.
not
Yeah, which I think
Fall
is-
down drunk,
Sure.
and that way you're aware. If anything happens, then you can take care of it.
Yeah, very responsible way to
Because
approach
he
it.
tried to show me how to drink to do just that, and he was the one falling over.
Yeah.
I outdrank both my parents.
Yeah, so that was a lesson that went completely wrong.
But sometimes that's how you gotta learn,
Yeah, and I told my daughter the same thing. You ever get tempted, you ever get curious,
Mhm.
we'll see what we can do.
My sister actually approached me with something very similar. It was back in 7th or 8th grade. And she said, if you're ever curious about doing these recreational drugs, wanting to try something, let me know and I will, be there with you to sort of, okay. It's a very interesting, kind of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I
Very
figured it was the
responsible.
best thing, I mean, if you're that curious and you're gonna do it, well, hell,
Yeah, 'cause
I
people
wanna
are.
make sure you're here.
People- sure.
It happens.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of families treat that very taboo.
Yeah.
We just don't talk about that. We just don't do that. The
Yeah.
answer is don't even think about it.
Right.
Right.
Which basically tells somebody go be secretive and go.
Yeah, they
Go behind my back
demonize it
and
so
do it.
readily. Yeah, that they're making you. They're creating the resistance, and of course, kids want to resist, and
Yeah.
so you're sort of creating the scenario, in a sense. Yeah.
It was the same way in our house too, when I was growing up, Everybody knew my dad was an alcoholic. They would have him start a party on Friday and then, early Monday morning, my dad go to work,
Mhm.
It lasts the whole weekend. I mean, nonstop.
Mm.
And, but it was something you never talked about, you just didn't bring it up. You didn't discuss it. Nobody wanted to hear about it, what had happened or whatever.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it was like that
That's
for
even
us.
like with my dad being naive. I mean, my dad, he can make the best drinks. He has
Pop or
Pump.
He has the most expensive tequila, gallons. And he makes drinks and all that. And he'd make me drinks, and if it tasted good to me when I ate that drink, then I would drink. But if it didn't taste good, I didn't drink. And one day we were all going to a comedy club. And my dad says, well, you're over 21, so you're on your own. If you get in trouble for drinking or whatever. Because I know, all of a sudden my dad throws cocaine on the table, and I'm looking at my dad like, what the hell?
Mhm.
I never knew my dad did it, ever. And I was already, Byron, he was 6 months old. I never knew my dad did cocaine. And he did it, he did that line, and I'm looking at my dad like, what the hell?
Wow.
I was like dumbfounded.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. wouldn't know how to react.
I didn't. I didn't.
My whole world was.
She
You
kept
know,
looking at
and
me, you
then,
know,
yeah, but there's a bunch of people there and they're all doing their line. And my dad's off. I'm like,
No, thank you.
not
Oh,
me.
man.
If I was doing that, I would not do it in front of you.
That's true.
But I was just like, I looked at him and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I was just like, wow.
What were you thinking?
He kind
I
of.
was kind of like, well, do I want to jump in there?
Yeah.
I mean,
So
honestly,
watching her
sure.
shock, what were you like watching?
That's what kept me from jumping in there because she was just like, just
Yeah.
glazed over, you know.
Yeah.
What the hell just happened? Did that really just happen?
Yeah.
Kind of deal, and it's just like, you know, it caught me off guard. but
Sure.
I was thinking more like, I wonder how good is it? You know? I mean, to
What's
be
the
honest
thought?
with you,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I was an addict, so.
Yeah.
But watching her expression, it's just like, I can't believe I just seen that.
Mhm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, you know, it's the way life is. You know, some people can hide it really well and function, and others just can't.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't.
It was,
And obviously, he's a functioning one because I never had any idea. You know, I never did. So I should have, because he smoked like a damn train.
Mm.
I mean, he'd have one cigarette and light another one and
That too.
start puffing on that one so he could put the other one out. You
Mhm.
know? So
You know John Wiseman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that, like, for example, for a functioning addict, I know John used to do a lot of coke when he was a contractor,
Mhm.
and he built like a house in like 16 hours on coke.
Well,
Yeah. And like no one knew. No one knew he was cook. Sober now, that's good.
well, good. But yeah, it's interesting the kind of things like you have to discover that about somebody, you know, because you don't necessarily see that effect, you know, like some drugs don't have like a prominent display on the people who use them. You know, some people are very much like you can tell, you know, especially when people are heavily addicted, you know, because sometimes in my store people come in and some they might do drugs, I could never ever tell, and some come in very easily
Yeah.
recognize that they're, you know, tweaking. And so it's interesting to think that like you don't actually even know fully, you know, what somebody does.
cause like
recreationally.
before him, all I did is I bowled and I worked at the bowling alley.
Mhm.
So I lived at the bowling alley,
Hmm.
period. And when we got together, I mean, I never knew. I mean, I knew what alcoholics were because my stepdad was
Mhm.
one. And he used to beat my mom. And finally, my mom told him the alcohol and me and the kids.
Mhm.
And she put him in jail. He got out, and finally he gave it up. And he's been sober. I was still in elementary. About
Long
30
time.
some years. He's
Hmm.
been sober.
The smell of
The
alcohol
smell of
makes him
alcohol
sick.
makes him. That's how it got him to cut down his alcohol without him knowing.
Mm,
My dad.
yeah, he kept track. He called me. It was on a Saturday, and he said, "Mijo, come here." I was like, "What's up?" He says, "Look in the fridge." And I opened the fridge, and there's still a bunch of beer in there. He goes, "You haven't even noticed, have you?" And I'm like, "What?" He says, "You're not drinking nearly as much as you used to."
Mm,
You know, and it never dawned on me. And then him telling me, you know, I'm proud of you. I'm
Yeah.
proud of you.
Yeah.
Those simple little words made a huge difference.
Sure.
To me, you know, and it made me want to say, okay, you know, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this. You
Yeah.
know? And just kept cutting back. And
Cool.
then, you know, I would stop for a while. Then I'd start again.
Mhm.
Stop for a while. But then it became a weekend thing.
Mhm.
It wasn't every day like it used to be.
Mhm.
So I was proud of that.
Mhm.
I mean, and then finally I got to quit altogether.
Mhm.
Except he called me a
But-
cheap drunk.
Yeah. The first time we went out to have drinks and we were meeting her friends, her best friend and her boyfriend, it's now her husband, and I walk up to the bar and I said, "What do you want to drink?" She's like, "I don't know, you know, she's not really had any drinks or been to the bars and stuff." So
Yeah.
ordered her 2 cocktails and ordered me 2 beers, just so I wouldn't have to get up again.
Yeah.
And she drank like a quarter of it, you know, and she's feeling kind of like,
He's like, okay, let's go home.
I was like, she goes, "I feel good, but I really don't want any more." And I was like, "That's all right, I'll drink them."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I drank them and we danced for a little bit. Well, they danced, I didn't. And we hung out for a little while, and then I told her, well, let's get out of here because it's getting too crowded.
Sure.
And she says, I said, you want to go eat? And she's like, yeah, let's go to Taco Bell, And I was like, all right. Man, you the cheapest cheapest date, and not in a bad way that I've ever had.
Yeah.
I love
Great,
this.
yeah.
Order of a drink, Taco Bell, we're good to go.
Done,
Shit,
yeah.
let's go. You're cheaper.
Yeah, the steak from the Sizzler.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I want to eat money.
Yeah, exactly.
Only one Halloween I got drunk, huh?
Yes.
One Halloween.
Wow, and he washed our truck, and I had 2 Long Island iced teas and I don't know what else. And it was wintertime, and I was drinking water, but they didn't let me take my water outside. So when the cold hit me, I got sick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there and I'm throwing up, and he goes, okay, you feel better? So yeah. So you get on the freeway, I said, oh, now I'm gonna throw up. I'm sticking my head out the window. He's trying to hold me from falling out of the truck. He's like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to drive. I said, man, I'm going to jail for DWI for sure. It's not her head wasn't out the window. She was out of her waist hanging over there, just thrown up all along the side of my truck,
He wakes
And
me up.
I didn't even notice, but I was just trying to hold on to it, drive straight, trying to get a buzz going. I'm like, man, I'm going to jail for sure. We got all the way home when I got up the next morning. She's got a bad hangover. And I got up and I went outside. And I don't know what made me look at the truck. And there it is, all along the side of the truck. I got her up and I said, come on, you're going to wash that truck. Let this be a lesson. Gotta find your limits.
I like what a great influence that for real. I'm listening to all the stories of you getting wasted and puking on things. But apart from that, I love hearing about how, experiencing life through different eyes. That's so cool. That's so cool. That's a huge benefit to make life about something else, to see life in a different kind of way. It gives you more access to different ways of living.
Right.
To watch somebody else.
The support, the sheer support that she's given me through the years is just that, I think, has kept me. I know it is. It's what kept me out and kept me from committing crimes and stuff like that. Even when we had nothing, and we were hurting for money, and it's always ways for me to make money on the other side.
Yeah.
And because of her and her support and telling me and reassuring me, we're gonna get through it. It's all right. Just have a little bit of faith that it'll work out. We get through it. Every month we get through it. And if it wasn't for that, then I know I would have committed crimes a long time ago, and I wouldn't have stayed a good citizen for this long.
Matt says, when I was a kid, I lived on a dead-end street. My best friends lived like a 2-minute walk down the street on the end of it. When my parents went to that house and they drove there and had some drinks, he would get so mad when they'd want to drive home. That's a dumb decision. 2 minutes.
I did that for a long time, and I used to joke about it all the time. And you don't drink and drive, you never learn to drive drunk. I was famous for saying that, and but
That's why I'm no good.
and I did it for a long time, and I look back now, and I would drive with these guys, but I think back now and I'm thinking, what a dumbass, the lives I could have took with my own family, it's amazing. I'm always preaching to him, and I'm telling my daughter the same thing. You drink, or you're somewhere you don't feel comfortable at, you call me, no questions asked. I'll be there. I'll come get you, and don't worry about it. I'll take you back the next day to get your car.
Sure.
Just please do me the favor and not get behind the wheel. Don't do it.
I
Responsibility.
remember a couple months ago, I was at a party for WrestleMania. I didn't leave until like 9 a.m. when I finally sobered up. I had a challenge where me and John Wiseman challenged each other. Anytime Brock Lesnar landed a suplex, we'd take a shot. landed 9 suplexes.
Oh, boy.
I was drinking sake.
I have a couple more comments too. I can't read very well because it's far. My eyeballs are terrible.
John can't read.
I don't know how to read yet. Yeah, I'm learning.
Rachel says they could have walked home. That's dumb. And then Proto Matt says I walked home while they drove. Rachel said my dad had to borrow my car to go to work and went to the bar afterward. I got pissed at him for drinking and driving my car.
Mm.
You should.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow. I worked for the Office of the Medical Investigator for a while, where they do death investigations and autopsies and stuff. And I remember I met this girl once she told me a story about when she was hit by a drunk driver. And she was driving down, I think I've told you this before, maybe not. Driving down I-25 towards Santa Fe, she was probably like 21 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
She had her baby brother in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
She was driving, and her boyfriend was sitting.
You did. This is.
And her boyfriend was sitting in the passenger seat. And her baby brother was, I think, like 8 years old or something like that. And her boyfriend, they'd been together since they were 15. So they were, they had a 6-year-long relationship, and they were still so young. And they got hit head on by a drunk driver. And this girl was trapped in that truck for hours with her baby brother decapitated and her boyfriend just dying, like death rattling, and she was conscious and she was all there for it. And
I can't even.
and and I think about it's a hell of a. I mean, I just that to see. Anyway, when I think about the risks that we take, because vehicles, just driving they're these big metal, glass, gasoline, combustible objects that we ballistic around town,
Mm-hmm.
sleepy, texting, drunk,
Mm-hmm.
laughing, paying attention, eating, whatever it is that we're doing. And we really take for granted how paramount, how you love a lot of people and you have necessary people in your life driving around the road, and God forbid something happened to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My necessaries are out on the road. You know what I mean? Like I belong to people, and we it's amazing the ways that we'll risk each other's lives and just not even see that, and then to put alcohol on top of that, or any substance really on top of that, that's ballsy.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Dumb.
When we first got together, the first time I met his mom, we went to Cruces and we were coming back. We were right there on Coors and Gun Club. And there's an old Jeep that didn't have the cover. They weren't wearing their seatbelts. They rolled. And you just seen people flying over. And this girl was trapped underneath. And the gas was going on her legs. And him and my stepdad ran over there. And the people that hit him took off running. Well, he took off after him and they caught him. But every time we go down that road, that's all I can see is that people just flying out.
It was like in slow motion. They got hit and it went up, and to me I could see it in slow motion. Like spinning, and you just see the bodies, just like in a movie, just coming out and going all kinds of different ways, hitting the bars and all that. There was one guy laying just on the side of the Jeep, and blood's coming out of his nose, and he's coughing it up. And I'm looking and telling the people, check everybody else. He's going. I already knew that he was gonna die. Well, then guys took off. They hit him and tried to get away, and they're yelling at me. They're trying to get away. They're trying to get away. I'm looking like, there's 50 people out here. Why are you telling me? I took off. I got him, and we brought him back. And I turned around, and that guy was standing up. I was like, oh my God. You're gurgling blood and everything else. Now you're standing up. I don't know if it was the adrenaline or what.
Sure.
And the ambulance and stuff finally got there. I don't know whatever happened to him. But that was something that we seen that day.
Terrifying.
And I always go slow through that intersection.
Sure.
Ever since I always do.
Yeah.
I double check.
Yeah.
I always check.
Yeah.
But man.
So if any of you are ever anywhere drunk, call Rick and he will come get you.
Mhm.
No
I really will.
questions, no questions asked.
Cool. Matt is in Philadelphia and Rachel's in Cincinnati.
Fly out there. I'll do
I
it.
can, I can do it.
That's-
I need to frequent flyer miles.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah, wow. Holy moly.
And Byron would have friends like when we lived in apartments, we had the fights
Mhm.
and the drinking. Were we drinking that night?
No,
Oh, Maypac?
Yeah.
they weren't. drinking.
No,
Jason drank.
Jason did.
drank.
And
What was the other time? When we were in apartments.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Was
we
it
had
when I
Mason.
had my own apartment?
No,
Oh.
Mason and them all came over.
Oh,
Mason,
yeah.
Avery, I don't know who else. Anyways, they came over, and I always told Byron, tell your friends if they're gonna come over, they're gonna drink. They're gonna hand me their keys.
Mhm.
Nobody's leaving,
Mhm, mhm.
so that's not
Yeah.
that's non-negotiable.
There's
I said, and
responsibility.
the first person that gets out of hand, acts stupid, starts arguing, fighting, anything, is gonna get knocked the fuck out.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
said, so just make sure it's very clear,
Yeah,
you know. I
regulation.
said, that's all it is.
Yeah.
More than welcome to come, but
Yeah.
that's the way it's gonna be.
Matt says being drunk on public transport is a time.
Yeah, at least he's not driving.
Does talking about it make you crave?
Yeah, it does.
Hmm.
It does.
Hmm.
I mean, Byron's old enough now. My daughter's getting there. I want to go out and have a beer with my son and go
Mhm.
watch a game, or something like that.
So, since I don't really know much about this, I mean, what do you crave about it? You crave the taste, the experience, what it feels like. I mean, 'cause I
All of the above, actually.
Everything.
In the summer, I love ice cold beer.
Mm,
I like to drink it.
Hmm.
I can drink it. I'm not like if it's after 12 in the afternoon,
Mhm.
then I'll
Kevin's here.
drink.
Okay, yeah.
But
What's up,
I'm
Kevin?
not like an
Kevin.
early morning drinker. This
Sure.
is still going from the night before.
Sure.
But during the summertime, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock,
Mhm.
I used to love to have nice cold beer.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Mm.
I really did. I could drink. I was telling her, from the airport to Coors and Rio Bravo,
Mhm.
I could finish a case of beer. Just from there to that.
Mhm.
I mean, literally,
Yeah.
you finish, get out of the car,
Yep.
walk a straight line. You'd never know it.
So do you crave alcohol the same way you
You
crave
guys want some pizza?
Oh, good.
No,
Thank
thank
you. Yeah.
the way that you've craved other substances?
When he drinks, one goes with the other.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, that's what I've
Okay.
always done. It's kind of like pizza and pepperoni.
Sure.
Drugs and alcohol, they went together for me all
Right.
the time.
Topical.
So it would be
Hello.
we would, I crave the dope more than the alcohol.
Mm.
But if the alcohol is around, then I crave them both.
Right.
So it's a struggle.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because you'll get them idiots. They'll be like, come on, drink. Just have one
Yeah.
drink ain't gonna kill you.
Mhm.
One shot, yeah, it might not kill me,
Mhm.
but it might kill you.
Yeah.
If you keep talking shit.
Yeah.
I already said no, thank you.
Yeah.
That's enough. I want to hear it.
I've never been peer pressured in my life. That is not a thing people my age experience. Do you know that?
No, I
What do you
didn't.
mean?
Like, because I've never had any interest in doing any sort of drug. The only thing I've ever done in my life is drink.
Mhm.
And I have friends that do all sorts of drugs. Like, I've got a friend who regularly, smokes weed, does mushrooms, does all kinds of things. And anytime I hang out with him, he'll offer it to me, and I'll be like, no. I'll be like, okay, that's it. There's only one friend who, I wouldn't even call it pressure, but it's like, she'll offer it to me, and I'm like, no, it's not my thing. She's like, how do you know if you haven't tried it? No, it's just not my thing. Then she drops it.
Hmm.
But that's the extent of any sort of pressure I've ever been exposed to.
That's sort of actually the same for me as well. No one's ever really been like, oh, come on, man. Come on. It's always kind of been like, you're interested? No. Okay. Just very simple kind of belief.
Yeah, I feel like I tell people a lot when they do have people in their lives that pressure them, the way that you say no is significant. I mean, if somebody says like, no, I gotta get up in the morning, it's like, you leave that
That
door
door,
cracked,
yeah.
you know, you're like, convince me. You might as well just say like, sell me on it.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of saying like, no, I have this excuse and that excuse.
Right.
It's a lot more effective to just say, no, I don't drink. Or,
Yeah.
no.
That's like
or-
my best friend. She was into mushrooms, acid, smoking pot. Her parents were hippies. They had a keg in the refrigerator with a tab, and they smoked pot. And one day we went out, and she goes, "Here, try some cinnamon paper." It was a little piece of paper.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, "Why are you gonna give me cinnamon paper?" I'm like, I
Spoiler
never
alert.
thought you would.
Really?
I never thought you would ever do anything like that.
What a
She
bitch.
goes, "But put it under your tongue."
Spoiler alert, it was
Alright.
not cinnamon paper.
So I went and we went out and all that, and I went home and I'm going to sleep, and I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, my bones coming out of my skin.
Oh,
The
scary.
walls are closing in, and I called her. I said, "What the hell did you give me?" She goes, "Oh, it's acid." I'm like, "You bitch."
Yeah.
She goes, "Just drink some orange juice and relax." I'm like, "No."
No, trick somebody into that. I actually have a question for you as well too. This is something that I get a lot of interesting responses from. Did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
Actually, no,
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay.
Things like that will.
That's sort of actually exactly what I was wondering. Because I actually have a handful of friends who simply won't watch it because they say it reminds them of it being too close to home and too real, and the portrayal is almost like too intense, given how grounded it is in like actuality.
Especially
You know.
at home.
Especially in Albuquerque. And so I've heard that from a lot of people, and I'm sort of curious about that as well, because it seems like, I watch it as an objective TV
You wanna say
show
hi?
without as much exposure to that kind of stuff.
There's only
But
4
for
people,
people
watching.
like, who have had a background with that kind of stuff, it's probably like unbelievably intense and realistic and probably kind of like, this is not necessary.
Well,
Right.
we're
The
sitting
movie
here.
closest to him, I don't know if you guys ever seen him, is American Me.
Yes.
That's what hits home to him.
Okay.
It's about the gang life in East LA.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And we have it, and he didn't let the kids watch it.
I still
It's
haven't
about
seen
the
it.
prison system, how
Okay.
they got raped, and
Mhm.
with John, what's his name? John Almos.
Edward James.
Almos.
Uh-huh.
And it's about prison life and
Well, and
That's-
it really explores how prison gangs actually originated, and
Right, that's what I was
it's
just gonna
really
say.
historically accurate.
And it-
yeah, and that's
Yeah,
we
it,
should-
it really is.
Yeah.
and how they
Well, so we're sitting here talking about, this story about this time I did this and that. We're talking about all these stories, and like, I'm sitting here thinking, what is this feeling like for you? Because I know what it feels like for me.
Yeah.
I know how I feel.
Yeah.
Right now. I mean, when I talk about it, I know what I feel. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here listening to stories, and it's funny, but those types of things can be really triggering, and they don't even necessarily have to feel that way. But, fast forward me a week later, and I'm a little more likely to go down that road if I was just talking about it for 2 hours last week.
Right,
Like the conversations that we choose to have, and the things that we choose to focus on, and the ways that we choose to talk about things, it has an effect on recovery.
Right.
Definitely. And it doesn't have to be immediate. It doesn't have to be tonight or tomorrow, but it
yeah, it
has an effect.
stays with it
Yes,
in
it
the back
does.
of your
Yes,
mind.
it does. Yeah.
And it's like I was telling Byron earlier, and the friend that was here, when I talk about things, I actually see it.
Yeah.
It's playing.
Mhm.
It's like a movie to me,
Right.
and so I'm watching it as I'm talking about it. And sometimes that messes me up with my speech or what I'm trying to say
Mhm.
because I can see it going on.
Yeah.
Especially backstories. And but exactly what you
Mhm.
said, it stays with you. I just got to keep fighting. Like I said, I just one day at a time, and these guys are great with supporting me and getting on my ass when they need to. And,
Right.
Yeah, I'm always really mindful of that, not just for me and my history, but anybody that I talk to that has an addiction history is, if we're going to talk about stories, I want to talk about the meaning of it for you. Well, what did that mean in your life at the time, and who did that affect, and all of those other factors, not just the zoning in on that act, because that's kind of like an invitation for later to have
Right.
thoughts about it and stuff like that. So
and it's a good excuse.
it is a really good excuse.
It is a really
Yeah.
good excuse to
Yeah.
use. It stayed on my mind. We talked about it the other night, and blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
that's why I did it.
Yeah.
Well,
So I mean, I started to feel like I don't like where this is at, like talking about it in the woohoo.
Sure,
I
sure.
started feeling like that a little bit ago.
Yeah, I get. There'll be times where I'll
And we
say,
laugh about it, but it's a
Well,
serious matter
All
at
of
the
it's funny as
time.
hell. It really is. I mean,
And the
it's
time that it
funny.
happened is funny now that you think about it. Like, how stupid were we?
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
we're just stupid.
Mhm.
You mean, really?
there'll be times where I'll say, like, let's not talk about that, or
Yeah.
Sure.
go down
You
that.
can
Absolutely.
feel it. Yeah, you
You
can
know,
feel it.
when it starts to stir me up,
Absolutely.
and I tell Brian, I'm pretty much open, know, and it's like you were saying earlier. I appreciate you guys giving me a few minutes just to at least try to get to know me.
Yeah.
Even if you don't agree with me, even if you
Mhm.
don't like me,
Mhm.
but you gave me an opportunity
Mhm.
and treated me like a human being,
Mhm.
and I just wish that more people would do that
Yeah.
with me, and they might find out, hey,
Yeah.
this guy really is a good guy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's a good neighbor, he's a good friend, he's a good father,
Sure.
I'm not.
Yeah. In fact, most likely to help you if you're in the middle of getting mugged. In fact.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Michelle had made an observation a while back, with her job and her clientele, in that when you get a chance to really know somebody and you are honest with them and they're honest with you, you open up this channel that no matter what, you respect. You respect that person, because when somebody's honest with you, you can't help but be like drawn to that and to respect them equally as much.
Yeah.
It's a really, really very strong sentiment and intimate thing to have somebody's unadulterated trust. And so that's why getting a chance to talk to you and listen to you with no judgment and anything, it's amazing to me that you would let us in like that. And so I very much hope to honor and respect you as well too, in terms of, showing you respect just as much.
Yeah, it's great for me. I
Yeah.
mean, it really is. I feel the same way.
Great.
You guys just giving me the opportunity, you'd be willing to come over here.
Yeah.
I mean, to begin with.
I mean,
Yeah.
when we first met you and you hugged us, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
We were just telling Byron that earlier. I said, shake his hand and gave us a hug, and I said, that was great.
Nobody
You
does
know,
that.
that was great.
Yeah.
Nobody ever does that first time they meet me.
Yeah.
It's more like,
Right, exactly. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, a whole bunch of
Okay. We should.
What do we say? What do we say? What do we say?
neglecting everybody.
Neglected when I pressure my peers in the same way. Byron, never been peer pressured to do
Oh,
anything in my
yeah.
life. Breaking Bad always made me want rock candy. My friends never pressured me. If they were passing around a bong or a joint, I declined to pass on to the next person in the circle. No one's ever bothered me about it. I've always been curious, John, is there any particular reason why you never experimented with drugs or alcohol? Have you ever been tempted to try it? And actually, yes, I addressed this earlier in the podcast. I can give a quick recap if anybody wants me to. But yeah, there was just a really bad car accident that I was in almost 20 years ago. And the situation was so extremely difficult for me at the time while everything was happening, that I realized that there are certain things that were outside of my control. And so I wanted to always be responsible enough to keep myself in control, even if outside factors were not. So that way I could do the best that I was able to at any given point in time. And not that I judge people for it, not that I discount, people's wants or needs or whatever they desire, but so that I could also be responsible with them and to help them and to
You're a star and you're leaving.
accommodate for them. And so it just was sort of like just a personal kind of pledge.
And Matt, you can get blue meth rock candy in Albuquerque.
That's true. At the Candy Lady. Yeah, that's funny.
That's the dealer. That's the local.
That just-
dealer.
Yeah,
one
she's
that's-
Heisenberg.
Yeah, she's the Candy Heisenberg.
Yes.
of Albuquerque.
The sweetest old lady.
Well,
Is it already?
it's already almost 2 hours. Yeah,
Holy shit.
It's 11?
it's pretty good. Pretty great.
That was quick.
Well, great conversation
That's quick.
takes time to go very
Yeah.
quickly. Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
All right.
All right, there it is. There it is. So, yeah,
That was quick.
it was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It didn't
a
feel
good
like
conversation
it.
does. Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. Yeah, thank you guys for being
Yeah,
willing to do
definitely.
this with us.
Oh, thank you
Anytime.
guys.
Of course. Yeah,
Okay.
I wanted to talk about it doing a documentary thing though.
We will definitely.
fantastic. The most fascinating thing in the world is the human condition, and because we've got 7 million people on this planet, 7 billion people on this planet, that human condition is as varied and widespread as you could possibly imagine. So getting a chance to see anybody's story is worthwhile.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm gonna find out about that middle school thing and the kids that they want to hear some stories and hear some examples and hear some of the why and why not
Mhm.
from somebody that's actually been there.
I would love to. I'd
Yeah.
be honored, like I said.
Cool.
I'd definitely be honored.
And you're funny.
Yeah,
So
I just have to practice in front of me with my language.
Yep.
Crack
Mhm.
is not always whack.
Yeah.
Scratch that one.
I think of Whitney Houston, you know. Need a towel, she's higher than hell.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
seven, you know.
I
Yeah.
don't
Rack
do
is
crack.
rack.
Yep.
Don't do it. Okay. Keep
Yeah.
telling
She's
yourself.
like, I love it. I love it right now.
And that's what she does.
Keep telling
All
yourself.
opiates and
Yeah, it's
And-
like when you're drunk or you're high and you actually think that nobody can see it.
you can tell, especially with their voice.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
booed her.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
her daughter, almost 3 years later, died. Same thing.
Sad.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, what last thoughts do you need to?
I can't really think of a lot. I think one of the best things about this really is sort of what we've been going over the whole time is that, everything in this world can seem foreign to us until we've given the legitimate chance to understand it from its perspective. And whether it's a belief or most importantly a person, there's no, literally getting the chance to see something from somebody else's point of view can change everything.
Mhm.
It can change the entire experience for you. And this is why, like not for a second have I ever thought that, it's like, ooh, this guy is here intimidating. Not once, not even for a second, And I think if anybody could get the chance to realize that we're all human, we all make mistakes, and we all have the ability to grow and learn from it, everybody would sort of realize we're very much on equal ground.
You also don't live life on the defensive though,
That's true too.
because some people really do walk around looking for how's that person a threat to me? How's that person a threat to me?
Right.
How is that person a threat to me?
Yeah,
And that's not something that you do
that's true too.
anyway.
Yeah.
You're the most ridiculously open person I've ever met in my life.
I just realized, I'm so full of flaws that like I have no room to judge, not even remotely. To me, I'm the most flawed person I know. And so when I see anybody else, I think of them as, like, what can I learn from this person? Who can help me humble myself even further? So, yeah. I only know my experience, truly. Everybody else's is sort of just observational and inaccurate to a degree.
And it's really strange to me because, I've been raised around like paranoia and defensiveness.
Mhm.
We've been robbed 3 times this year.
Mhm.
And you're still like, yeah, come in my back room, we'll play games.
Well, yeah,
That's true.
That is true. That is
So-
true. Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually true.
Yeah, let me let you into my safe. You want to borrow $100,000?
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. I know you're good for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's your security.
I'm learning just as much
Mhm.
with you guys.
Yeah.
I truly am. I'm grateful for it.
Mhm.
It's like when we started out. I'm learning.
Everybody can teach you something.
Yes,
Yeah.
you just have to be open to it. And
That's right.
like you said, non-judgmental. And I'm the same way. I am nobody to judge anybody.
Mhm.
Past judgment. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
I love your love story.
I also. Yeah. I love it more. So, yeah.
I love it more.
Get bent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. We love it more than you do.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a way bigger fan.
It means a lot more to us. And you guys. Okay, let's call it.
All right.
Call it.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you anybody for contributing or even just listening, and hopefully any of you got something great from this.
What was Kevin's
Kevin.
paragraph?
I'll always remember that lock-in night after you got robbed. There was never a better affirmation of our community than that night. We all gathered around John and let him sleep while there was a giant hole in his business.
That's actually true. That was a really amazing moment of solidarity.
We all played
Yes.
Cards Against Humanity while John slept.
Yeah, because I've been up since 3 in the morning dealing with the store, and everybody came by and chilled and hung out, and I fell asleep on the couch, and people just chilled around me. It was like, this is incredible.
Yeah, I think
The kindness of all the people in our
I
community.
don't think
was-
people were gone until like 7.
Yeah, well, even Jonathan and Rain, I think they were the last 2 standing, and they were there. So by the time I woke up, they were ready to take off, and then I was ready to do my thing for the rest of the day. So it was really incredible, very humbling as well. So
Yes.
yeah, it was a great night, great evening.
It was a good night.
What else can I say?
One of the
He just
best
is following up. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Let's call it a night.
Okay. It's a night.
It is a night.
Call a spade a spade.
This is a noche.
This is it. Buenos. All right.
It is a bueno one.
A bueno noche. All
Come say
right.
goodbye since you didn't say anything else.
Bueno nacho.
Say
They
bye.
can't see you.
All right. That's true. I think we can feel her presence. All right. Yeah. Thank you guys again so much, and we'll see you next week. Got it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.